Hello, friends. I just recorded this intro without actually hitting record. So we're starting over. Hello. Welcome to one of the final videos that I will be releasing within 2024. And welcome to the final new moon of 2024. It's a very timely one, as we see it'll be happening on December 30th in the sign of Capricorn. On the same day as Chiron, this asteroid that's considered the wounded healer asteroid we'll be getting into, also ending its retrograde on the same day, which is very timely, very poignant. And we'll talk about how these transits are coming together for a very clear message, very clear experiences will likely be happening around this time. Hello, friends. It's your girl, Alina. And in this video, like I mentioned, we're going to be diving into this Capricorn new moon. I will be giving custom readings for each zodiac sign. We will have custom journal prompts at the end, also time-stamped in the description. So this new moon will be occurring on December 30th, 2024 at 9 degrees of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is this sign associated with discipline, ambition, and responsibility, really making this lunation perfect for recalibrating our goals and setting intentions that honor more structure and really the concept of perseverance if we feel like we have the energy for that right now. New moons in general are a great and optimal time for relaxation, but Capricorn new moons can offer that a pretty opportune time to kind of ride the momentum of the moon growing in on the light surface and build momentum energetically around those intentions. And I say that because in general, new moons are seen as this beautiful time for resting, reflection, and we see that because in the night sky, the moon isn't even visible. It's reflecting zero of the sun's light. And it's this cosmic reminder that in equal amounts do we have a bright full moon, we also have this dark new moon, and they are equally important and they serve equal purposes in the same way that our rest and our time away, drawing our energy back to us, is also equally important as being in action, socializing, and putting our energy out there. And that's why you see many people doing new moon rituals, where they take time to get grounded, centered, and they reflect on how the previous lunar cycle went for them. They set intentions for the new lunar cycle. And as you see that the light builds on the surface of the moon, leading up to its energetic peak at the full moon, so too can momentum around the intentions that you set also build. But just as you see that the new moon is this sort of crossroads between two worlds, between the ending of a lunar cycle and the beginning of a new one, it also signifies the equal importance of reflecting, holding space for, and sitting with what we have experienced in an equal amount to looking to the future and planning and doing all of these things. And so it's really important to check in with you and how you personally are feeling, as well as going into your custom reading to kind of see more specifically what this energy is bringing up for you, because some people feel a bit more energized around new moons while other people really need that rest. So really pay attention to what you need. Now, when we see a new moon in the sign of Capricorn, this Saturn-ruled earth sign that's all about translating wisdom and knowledge into more practical and efficient action, it really indicates a new lunar cycle of time that will be asking for us as a collective, how are we really sitting with what we've learned? And how can we see ourselves living in alignment with these lessons? As the zodiac's archetype of the builder, Capricorn new moons can really indicate a time that's really inviting us to not necessarily be in action and working all the time, but it's more so a time of steadily and intentionally taking steps in alignment with lessons that we have learned. And that could be lessons over the course of the previous lunar cycle or over the course of 2024, because, it's the end of the year anyway, so why not sort of ride that wave? And by the way, the #1 way to support my free work that I put out here on YouTube is to just hit the like button. It's simple, it's free, and it helps to spread my work to more people. And before we begin, I am excited to announce that you can now get the digital version of the 2025 Aura-Line Astrology Planners. So no shipping, no waiting, nothing. It's a perfect last-minute holiday gift. And with digital and physical Aura-Line Planner together or by themselves, you can easily align from anywhere. So stop feeling scattered and dependent on finding the right astrology readings on social media and whether or not someone posted, and have 2025's top transits along with full and new moon journaling prompts and astrological guidance, all in the same place where you plan and organize your year. All the links will be in the description box if you want to learn more. Okay, now in terms of top transits happening around the time of this new moon, first up, we will see that Chiron, the asteroid known as the Wounded Healer, will be ending its retrograde while in Aries. Now, Chiron's influence is really tied to deep and often painful wounds, but it's also tied to wisdom and growth that is tied to those painful wounds. And when Chiron stations direct in Aries on the same day as this new moon, the collective focus will be shifting subtly toward healing wounds that are tied to things like self-confidence and autonomy, these Aries themes. And during this retrograde, we may have been forced to confront internalized fears about how we assert ourselves, how we hold space for ourselves to just be, our personal boundaries, and balancing our personal needs with the needs of others. Now, as Chiron moves forward, it'll be inviting us to integrate those lessons and really consider taking more decisive action towards personal empowerment and what it would look like to do those things in ways that serve others, maybe teach others or model what to do for others. Next, at the time of this new moon, we'll see Mars, the planet of action and willpower, forming an opposition aspect with Pluto, the planet of transformation, power dynamics, and secrets. Now, in general, this is the type of opposition that can create tension between the individual will and the collective sort of forces. So on a societal level, we may see potential clashes between leaders or like sort of powerful figures asserting their authority and broader movements advocating for structural transformation. And this is a push and pull dynamic that can bring about a lot of breakthroughs, but only if we're willing to navigate that intensity with care and intention. And for the next transit, we're going to be seeing the expansive energy of Jupiter meeting the more restrictive and more disciplined energy of Saturn in a square off. So Jupiter and Saturn will have a square. And Jupiter and Gemini will be emphasizing the more intellectual exploration, curiosity, and the desire to expand through ideas, learning, and communication. Now, collectively, this transit will be asking us to examine whether our grand plans are realistic or feasible, and if they're built on shaky foundations. All right, y'all, before we get to the rising sign forecast, I just want to remind y'all to hit subscribe and hit the like button. And also, if you haven't already, sign up for the Align newsletter if you want outlines of these videos emailed directly to you every month for every full moon and new moon. Links will be in the video description. All right, y'all, let's now explore this Capricorn New Moon's influences based off of each sign. So go ahead and check for your sun, moon, or rising sign in the video description and click over to the timestamp. Hello to my Capricorn friends. Now this new moon will be lighting up your first house of identity and self-expression. Now Capricorn's more grounded energy will be inviting you to reflect on how you've grown in confidence in any capacity of your life and how you've shown up for yourself over the past year. It's not necessarily about rushing forward, but about sitting with the lessons that have shaped you and deciding how you personally want to embody them moving forward. This new moon is all about you. So consider asking yourself, what values or strengths do you want to integrate into your sense of self as you go into 2025? Really take time to rest and reconnect with who you truly are. What is your self-concept, self-identity, and even explore what it looks like to embody the identity of maybe the person you want to become in some way, only if that feels good to you. Hello to my Aquarius friends. Now this new moon will be activating your 12th house of introspection, healing, and closure. And Capricorn's more disciplined energy will be encouraging you to reflect on any potential hidden patterns or even unconscious beliefs that you are maybe navigating or are coming to your awareness. This can be a great time for reflection and integrating lessons from the past year so that you can have a bit more clarity as you walk into 2025 and into this new lunar cycle. So consider asking yourself, what parts of your inner world maybe need a bit more care and grounding so that you can move forward feeling a bit lighter? Really explore what it looks like to call your energy back to yourself and sit with that. Hello, hello to my Pisces friends. Now, this new moon will be lighting up your 11th house of community, friendships, and future goals. Now, Capricorn's energy will be inviting you to reflect on the wisdom you've gained through your connections, specifically through the people who have come into your life and those interactions, and the clarity that you've developed around your long-term aspirations. So this can be a really great moment to consider how these lessons have shaped the communities that you engage with and the dreams that you pursue. And consider asking yourself, what does it look like to actively seek or foster communities that support your intentions? Really consider taking time to envision the kind of support network and collaborations that you might wish to cultivate moving forward. I recently saw a video basically saying that there is no plant or animal in this world that gives without also taking something. So for example, trees provide shade and fruit and homes and shelters for animals and all these things, right? And they also produce oxygen in the air and all of these things. They bring in CO2, right? But their roots are so deep in a certain type of soil that also provides nutrients to them. So as they're giving to the world, they are also taking in what they need. And in that same way, it's oftentimes, you've heard that it's an ancient phrase for a reason. Which is, you are the average of the people that you surround yourself with. It's really important to take time to not only envision what it is that maybe you want for the new year or the new lunar cycle or anything like that, or who you want to become, but also reflect on the type of environments that help you to become that person. What are the type of environments that normalize what it is that you want to do? For example, maybe you're like, oh, I want to start running. It sounds very simple, but it's simple for a reason. Joining a running group, being around people where running is normalized, it's a part of their life, reinforces that idea within you and reinforces this identity that you're not just someone trying to run, but you are a runner. Explore what it looks like to be surrounded by people who reflect that back to you as well. What is the soil that you are pulling the nutrients from to be the person that you want to be? I don't know. Yeah, just felt called to tell y'all that, my Pisces friends. Wishing you a beautiful new moon and new year. Hello, hello to my Aries friends. This new moon will be lighting up your 10th house of career and public image. Now, Capricorn's steady influence will be definitely encouraging you to reflect on the progress that you've made professionally and the lessons that you've learned about things like ambition and responsibility. And with Chiron stationing direct in your sign, really adds this layer of healing, particularly around how you assert yourself in the public sphere. So consider asking yourself, what does success look like when it aligns with your authenticity and your values? Really use this new moon as this time to process your professional growth and plan any potential next steps with a bit more clarity and intention. And I just want to remind you, my Aries friends, that with this Capricorn energy, it's not necessarily just about work. It's also about how are you integrating the wisdom that you have accumulated. So the wisdom maybe from people within your job who have gone farther or have been where you want to go. That's also something that I feel called to tell you is really pay attention to the opinion, insights, and wisdom of specifically people who have been where you want to go. A lot of times it's not even necessarily with ill intent that people do this, but a lot of times people give you advice based off of their own limiting beliefs, their own fears, their own ideas of what's possible for their lives. So really lean into the power of considering the opinions of those that matter. You know what I mean? And yeah, so yeah. Hello, hello to my Taurus friends. Now this new moon will be activating your 9th house of higher learning, exploration, and personal philosophy. And Capricorn's influences will be inviting you to reflect on the lessons that you've gained through your education, through travel, or spiritual growth. And this can be a great time to process how these experiences have shaped your worldview and how you can potentially integrate them in a meaningful way through your actions. So really consider asking yourself, how can you honor the wisdom that you've gained and how can you use it to guide your next journey, especially as you go into 2025? use this time to really consider resting and grounding yourself before setting the intentions. Hello, hello to my Gemini friends. This new moon will be transiting your 8th house of transformation, of shared resources, and of emotional depth. Now, Capricorn's energy will be inviting you to reflect on the more profound changes that you've experienced in these areas, and really consider what you've learned about the concept of vulnerability, trust, and resilience. Who can you trust? Who have you been vulnerable with? Who has been vulnerable with you? And what have you learned from that? And consider asking yourself, what emotional or financial habits are you ready to release, to rebuild with intention? Now, this can be a great time to honor your growth and also your rest before stepping into this next phase of transformation and growth, going into 2025 or going into this new lunar cycle. Hello, hello to my Cancer friends. Now, this new moon will be activating your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, intimacy, and Capricorn's influence will be inviting you to reflect on the lessons that you've learned through your relationships and through your connections, really considering how you've navigated things like commitment, boundaries, and mutual growth. So consider asking yourself, how can you create a more balanced and intentional partnership or partnership dynamics with the people that are closest to you and that also align with your values? Now, this new moon is all about rest, reflection, and envisioning relationships that you want to cultivate moving forward. Hello, hello to my Leo friends. Now, this new moon will be activating your 6th house of daily routines, your health, your structures, and what service looks like for you. Now, Capricorn's more disciplined energy will be asking you to reflect on your habits and how they've either supported or hindered your well-being and your productivity. So this can be a great time to learn about what balance and sustainability looks like for you on a day-to-day basis. And consider asking yourself, what daily practices can you refine to support your long-term health and your success? And you can use this new moon to reflect on these habits and take small and steady steps toward improvement. Hello, hello to my Virgo friends. So this new moon will be lighting up your 5th house of creativity, joy, and self-expression. And Capricorn's influence will definitely be encouraging you to reflect on the ways that you've been nurturing your passions and how these experiences have shaped your sense of self and your sense of fulfillment. And so consider asking yourself, how can you honor your creativity and also let it grow with intention? This can be a great time for rest, to process your creative journey, and to envision what joy and self-expression could look like in your year ahead. Hello, hello to my Libra friends. So this new moon will be illuminating your 4th house of home, family, and emotional foundations. And Capricorn's very grounded energy will be inviting you to reflect on how you personally have been creating stability and support in your personal life. It can be a very powerful moment to consider what lessons you've learned about what it looks like to feel a sense of belonging, security, and connection. And consider asking yourself, what foundations can you strengthen to feel more grounded and supported? Really consider using this time to reflect and plan on how you want to see your home life and how you can make sure that your more intimate, personal home spaces, smaller circles, feel safe for you. Hello and welcome to my Scorpio friends. So this new moon will be activating your 3rd house of communication, learning, and connection. And Capricorn's influence will definitely be encouraging you to reflect on the clarity and wisdom that you've gained over the course of the previous lunar cycle or even 2024, and how you share your ideas and connect with those around you in that way. So consider asking yourself, how can you communicate with greater intention and purpose? Really consider using this new moon to reflect on how you voice your opinions and your insights, your ideas, and how you make sure that that is in alignment with your intentions. Hello and welcome into my Sagittarius friends. Now this new moon will be lighting up your 2nd house of values, finances, and your self-worth. Now, Capricorn's more disciplined energy will be inviting you to reflect on how your relationship with money and material security has evolved over the past year. Now, this can be a really great moment to integrate any lessons that come to mind, anything that you've learned about stability, and also about your ideas of abundance. So consider asking yourself, how can you align your resources with what truly matters to you? And use this new moon for rest, reflection, and setting intentions as always, but really focus on your values. All right, y'all, next, to align with this Capricorn new moon, we're going to do some custom journal prompts. If you have your Auraline astrology planner, you can grab it and flip on over to the dedicated Capricorn new moon journal area in December. And if you don't have it, go ahead and go grab yours, and you can use the code in the description box. It's for a limited time only. What we'll do is I will read out the journal prompts, then you can read them out, pause, write them out. You can also find them in the video description, and yeah. What long-term goals are you ready to commit to in 2025, if any at all? Where in your life do you feel the need for more structure to support your personal growth? What would it look like to keep things practical and simple, but consistent in 2025? So not reinventing the wheel, but working with what you've got and keeping it simple. All right, y'all, that wraps it up for this final, new moon reading of 2024. Oh my gosh, it's really weird and crazy that that is a thing. But if you made it to the end, I think I'm going to change what I ask you guys to do. You don't have to leave any emojis, but just hit the like button, because I'm trying to navigate the YouTube algorithm thing and all that stuff. But hit the like button. I will deeply appreciate it, because it actually does make a difference apparently. And comment down below if you have any New Year's or new moon intentions, or what you're most proud of yourself for the year of 2024. I would love, 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 love to read those. To answer that question, I guess something I'm really proud of in 2024 is at the beginning of the year, I just had so many downloads of ideas of things I wanted to do this year. And a lot of them were outside of my comfort zone. And I did a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie with y'all, running this YouTube channel and trying to figure out TikTok, and also trying to run a planner company and sell stuff. I don't know, and navigating marketing, and also navigating working with other people and all of that stuff. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. And especially this time of year, it's very easy for me to zoom in only on the months of October through December in terms of business stuff, and get really overwhelmed. But this year was such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful year. We had the Auraline retreat in Thailand, which was insane. Shout out to Veronica, Tracy, Aaron, so many people that came on this trip. That was a highlight of my adult life in so many ways. And it was such a beautiful way to connect with y'all. Shout out to Jen, who was my co-host, and the deepening of our friendship through that. I got to also have my honeymoon with my husband. It was almost a year that we waited to have our honeymoon. We went to Tokyo, we went to Osaka, we went to Uji, I think it is, in Japan. We were also in Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand for the honeymoon. Those are a bunch of I got to go to New York and showcase the planners in New York this year. A lot of really great highlights, and even outside of those sort of career, Instagram worthy highlights, there was just a lot of stability, you know what I mean? Just not moving around, enjoying our home, enjoying our lives, enjoying our neighborhood, enjoying the weather, enjoying friendships. And like I mentioned before, sometimes in the rush of things, it's easy to take those things for granted. I'm so deeply grateful. I don't know. This is a stream of consciousness. This is a moment of we're being parasocial friends right now. So, click off whenever you want, I guess. But I'm just really, really deeply, and I learned so many lessons this year, so many important lessons, to where I navigate life differently in a lot of ways, because I better understand myself. But anyway, I'm deeply grateful for this year. I'm deeply grateful for you. Hardly any of it could have happened without you. Just vibing out with me, enjoying these readings, and just sharing them with your friends if they resonated with you. It truly does make a difference. Yeah, that's basically it, I guess. But with all of that said, I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote, and that is, Be gentle with yourself, because life is about the journey, not the destination. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next one.